about Asian countries. Now we have the financial crisis, and so my question is, what is the impact of the financial crisis on the Asian regionalism and the Asian integration? Does it have a positive or negative effect?
For cooperation, regional cooperation, I would say very much positive, because for ASEAN cooperation, since the first financial crisis in 1997, that led ASEAN country and also the so-called +3 country, Japan, China, and Korea, to get together with ASEAN and try to find a way to respond to the crisis together, try to have some kind of self-help mechanism. In a few years later, they can come up with the swap arrangement, so-called Chiang Mai Initiative swap arrangement, to pop up foreign reserve of some country hit by the crisis. So again, with this financial crisis, this ASEAN +3 country came together and tried to enhance the cooperation in the Chiang Mai Initiative and to become Chiang Mai Initiative multilateralization. Bigger money and pooling the money together, work as a fund that should create more cooperation among these countries. So you should be aware that nowadays, because of the interdependence between ASEAN and also Japan, China, and Korea, we cannot just stay only ASEAN. So the cooperation should be broader than just ASEAN. It should be ASEAN and extra regional power like Japan, China, and Korea.
So to make it very clear, economic crisis leads to a better cooperation between Southeast Asian states like China and Asian countries and Japan and India too.
Yes, India, the new player. India want to participate in the swap arrangement, the Chiang Mai Initiative multilateralization as well. So crisis because we need to respond collectively rather than just on your own. Better to come together and discuss how to cope with the crisis.
Okay, so do you think that Asian countries will be stronger after the end of this financial crisis?
Well, it's hard to tell, but the first thing I can tell is that the banking sector, the financial sector in ASEAN country have not been hurt much by this crisis, because we learned our lesson from the 1997 crisis, and also we did not invest so aggressively. We were very much conservative in our investment activity in the banking sector, so they are not affected much by the crisis. But if they will be stronger after the crisis, it's really hard to tell. It depends on the country. I think ASEAN now need to adjust its industrial structure. Like in textile, garment, we need to improve the quality to a more high-end product rather than the low-end product. So we need a lot of things. We need to work out a lot of things in order to be competitive or stronger after the financial crisis.
Okay, so but in overall you have a positive prospect. Do you think that this economical cooperation will lead to political stability also in this region, which is highly volatile sometimes?
Well, that is also difficult questions on political volatility. You mean domestically or
Yes.
interstate relations?
Domestically, yeah.
Domestically, or I think economic factor would be negative factor for political stability, because nowadays in many countries in Southeast Asia, companies have to lay off employees. That means we will have more people out of job. That will not contribute to political stability in any way. So the government in Asian country need to cope with this kind of jobless people, unemployed problem. So they need to very innovative in dealing with this problem. I mean, they may have to borrow money in order to boost their economy, to create entrepreneurship, to do many things to save these people. Some welfare policy, some project to create jobs, that would be a tough time for ASEAN.
So the regional integration is also a challenge to the domestic situation.
Regional integration, yes, because if a country very much facing a problem, domestic problem, political crisis, they cannot think about other things. They can just think how we can solve political crisis, like in the case of Thailand or before there's Indonesia. So we will be less country to be very much interested in regional integration because they will have to deal with their own problem first, unfortunately.
So ASEAN, the community and the regionalism cannot be seen as a solution to those problems.
Solution to those problems, I mean, at this level we can cooperate and try to help each other, for example, for the liquidity, support, swap arrangement, and also commitment not to protect our own market. So regional integration can be the way to help lessen, reduce the domestic problems. But still, again, if the problem in some domestic country become very severe, so they will have less and less capacity to cooperate in regional integration. So it's like a tension between these two things.
Generally spoken, are you more negative or positive about the future of East Asian regionalism?
Overall, I think I would be more positive on East Asian regionalism, but I wouldn't say that we will have a very advanced form of regionalism like in Europe. We have to admit that we still have a lot of problem, a lot of negative factor, a lot of difference, a lot of diversity. So we have to keep the cooperation going and work on what we can do, like on free trade agreement, on monetary cooperation, financial cooperation, and also on the functional cooperation, like on environment, on fighting terrorism, on fighting pandemic disease, on the thing that beneficial to all the countries, so they will participate. So I think with the economic crisis, it should become a more impetus for East Asian countries, Thailand, ASEAN country, and also Northeast Asian country. They will cooperate more, I believe, but cooperative in the old way of Asia, rather than to have ambitious goal to become monetary union, custom union, or political union is still remote future. But we can work out now, because our process has been going on pretty well so far.